Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. Heading into week 14 already. This season has just flown by. But before we get into it, we got our bowl pick'em up right now on the site for the college bowl games. Should be a good time. And we do have the capability for you to start your own private group on the site. So if you got a group of buddies that you want to get in and pick all the bowl games, go ahead and get that set up. You can get to it on a link from the homepage. All right, let's get into those must-adds. First guy, Jonathan Stewart. He's looked great over the last couple of weeks. Only on about 55% of leagues. Even if Goodson is healthy enough to play week 14, Stewart's going to be the man out there. Go ahead and pick Stewart up. Next, Anthony Dixon, only on 15% of leagues. It was a 50-50 split between him and Westbrook week 13. And it's starting to look like Dixon's going to be the guy to own out of this situation. We know Westbrook's injury prone, and we just think Dixon has a bigger upside. Moving on, LeGarrette Blount. Come on, people. Still only owned in about 75% of leagues. He's coming off a big game week 13, but here's the story with Blount. He's got the Skins, then the Lions, then the Seahawks for his playoff matchups. Not only is he the must-add, but he's a must-start in most situations during the playoffs. He's going to be a stud. And one wide receiver for you, we've been talking about him each of the last couple weeks. Sidney Rice, monster game on Sunday. He seems to be healthy, only owning about 75% of leagues still. Pick him up if you're looking for a receiver. All right, let's talk about some guys that in deeper leagues. First guy, James Starks. A lot of people are drooling all over this guy, but I'm not fully getting while everyone's picking this guy up. I mean, I do think he is a good ad right now, but Brandon Jackson is still very much going to be in the mix, and the Packers were playing with a big lead almost the entire second half, so don't fully believe how many carries he got, but it does look like he's going to start getting worked in and maybe get about 50% of the carries. Next, Tashard Choice. Same thing with him. I think he's a good pickup, but don't fully believe what he did last week. A lot's going to happen for him to happen for him to get 100 yards and a touchdown. They're playing with a lead. He had a ton of carries. So did Felix Jones, and Marion Barber's hurt. So a lot of things going on there, but still not a bad pickup. Moving on, Ryan Terrain, only under 40% of leagues. Seems like this guy's been out forever, but it looks like he might finally come back. And if he's healthy, I think he probably will go right back into the starting lineup. Last running back I'm going to talk about is Michael Bush, only on 55% of leagues. Looked pretty good last week. We're starting to think he might start taking some more carries from McFadden. McFadden hasn't looked nearly as good as he did earlier in the season. You might want to pick up Michael Bush to see if he can build on his game from week 13. Next, we got a receiver for you, Ben Obumanu. He got hurt on Sunday, but they're saying it was just a cut, so he should be back for week 14. But Mike Williams will not be back. Obumanu's only on 5% of leagues. He could be a decent pickup for week 14. Jacoby Ford, nice game week 13. We talked about him last week. Still only on about 30% of leagues. Again, we said it last week, must add in leagues that count return yards. Another receiver for you, Kenny Britt, only on 55% of leagues. It's looking like he's going to be back week 14 possibly. Now, we don't have him as a must-add because of all the quarterback issues out there, and we don't know how he's going to fit in with Randy Moss and Nate Washington. But if he's healthy, we'd like to think he's going to be in the starting lineup and bump Nate Washington to the third receiver on the bench. Defense to pick up, Atlanta's D, only on about 30% of leagues. They're going up against Carolina. Should be a nice matchup for you. Atlanta's got a decent defense. They should be able to force some turnovers. I like them for a pickup and play week 14. And I got one tight end for you, and Ben Watson, monster game on Sunday. He's putting together a really good year. Take a look at his numbers. I think you'll be surprised. If you're at all looking for a tight end, go ahead and pick up Watson. Now, this is just a portion of the week 14 wire. To see the full list, get onto the site. Brent and I will see you later this week. Good luck.